What's going on, guys? GemMint here with today's new comic book day reviews. It's Wednesday, November 24th, and as always, I'm going to go through today's comics as spoiler-free as possible, and later on today, I will be going live on Whatnot for my second live comic book auction. Really, it's the omnibus auction. We got sealed omnibus auction starting at $1 with 1-minute timers. Click the link in the description. It's actually a referral link, so if you sign up through that link, you'll get $10 off your first buy on Whatnot. My live sale is going to be going down at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, and then on Friday, Black Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to have a live comic book auction on this channel with Nick Barucci and Ramsey vs. Comics, so make sure to come swing by, even if it's just to hang out. All right, guys, as always, if you enjoy the content, hit that like. The dislike button is disabled, so don't even bother with that. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Really quick, a book from last week that I missed, Eat the Rich from Boom Studios, issue 4. I'm glad that I went back and ended up reading this. I really do like this series. I hate that fiance guy, man. He's such an asshole. But I really do like kind of this relationship building with the two characters on the front. Our main character, who's engaged to be wed into this uber rich family, kind of getting a little flirtatious, a little bit more than that with the help there, and just kind of her accepting this lifestyle. But it's not normal for everybody for them to eat human beings and literally roast them at their retirement. It's a crazy story. I'm having fun with it. I'm glad that I went back and picked it up. And then the big one from Boom Studios today is House of Slaughter issue 2 by James Tynion IV. He's joined by Bromble, Deladria, Sheenan, and Muerto. So this one follows this character Jace, and it's kind of showing us where he is now in the present, and then flashing back to his relationship with his roommate at the beginning of his tenure at the House of Slaughter, how he got inducted into the House of Slaughter. So just like the cover suggests, you got that dark, gritty, horror-like type of art style to it. It has a good mood and tone to it. The writing is great. It's very fluid. You just flow right through it. And even though I'm not as emotionally invested into this character or the roommate, it kind of hits you with the little 1-2 punch at the end here. It all comes full circle and makes for a great story. Jessica Slaughter plays a role here. I think she's going to continue to grow as a character. Definitely a good read. There was actually a lot of good reads this week. Moving over to Image, we have Radiant Black, issue 10 by Kyle Higgins. He's joined by Monty, Costa, and Carrie. Amazing, trippy, psychedelic issue. A couple of comics went this route this week, man. Like how the cover looks, he's dealing with that robot who's seems to be responsible for giving the Radiant Black power, kind of joining them in their astral plane, if you will, their other plane of existence in the cosmos. Super trippy and heartwarming and touching as he's trying to save the soul of his friend. Great issue, man. Radiant Black, sticking with it. It's got some ups and downs, but more ups than downs, I would say. Art was crazy. The coloring was awesome here. It was a really good issue. Moving over to Gunslinger Spawn, issue 2 by McFarlane, Coate, Booth, and Keene. So Gunslinger Spawn was pretty dope. This cover almost looks like a Raf Grassetti. It almost looks like 3D-ish. I enjoy the Gunslinger Spawn. I like how he's kind of like an underdog. He's not super powerful, but he makes up for it with his weaponry. And it's kind of, this is a big battle type of issue with him and these angels. That was amazing. But I kind of like the little comic relief stuff here as well, on him not knowing what a toilet is or why we have it inside the house when it should be out back. That kind of stuff is funny. Great action, great coloring, a big epic scope, ripping off angels' wings. Great book. Decorum, issue 8 is out by Jonathan Hickman and Huddleston. Man, I don't remember when issue 7 came out. I felt like I was hanging in there a little bit for this issue. I was kind of grasping what was going on here, and then, yeah, it went all crazy sci-fi and Hickman-y. Art is amazing here, man. Switching from different styles to a black and white to like this highly painted, detailed look. I'm trying to recall the story points. It's very abstract in its writing and its art. It's kind of hard to follow for me. I enjoyed it, though. I wasn't like completely lost, but I remember reading it and then getting lost at the end. I can't remember what it was about now, but last one is Time Before Time, issue 7, I want to say. Yeah, this one's by Shalvex, McConville, Palmer, and O'Halloran and Oatsmain Elihu. Is that how you say it? Wow. Dug this issue. I'm glad that I stuck with this series. I loved issue 1. It was kind of getting confusing with all the different timelines, introducing all the characters, but I really did dig this issue, man. I'm starting to get a better feel on who the main characters are, who the bad syndicate is, and who the good unit, what is it called? I don't know, the two different factions, but traveling through time, this woman's trying to get back to her family. Big twist and kind of hook here at the end. A lot of great fight scenes and time traveling scenes with these pods. We get an updated pod. We get this self-aware robot who's kind of creepy in here. Great issue. Good art style and coloring. All around, it was solid. Then let's move over to DC Comics. We have Detective Comics. We're on issue 1045. Tamaki Moore and Belair. Continuing to love Detective Comics. I love Tamaki's writing here. The art style is great. It's gritty. It's sharp. And I like this Vile story. I like kind of the city overrun with all those insects that were hatching from the larva underneath Gotham City, and how Batman finds a way to fight them by saving Mayor, is it Nakado? I think it's Nakado. And kind of using that on a bigger scope. It was a good story, kind of a team-up effort. This book should have come out last week, though, with the conclusion of Fear State, because now you have this Fear State ending in Detective, and it's like we're already past that. But I do like this series. I'm down to see where it goes. Sticking with Batman, we have Batman Reptilian. The final issue is issue number 6. Garth Ennis, Liam Sharp. Amazing, hilarious, funny, unique, new. The art style is amazing. The painted style, man, like Liam Sharp does stuff where you'll see like the reflection of the bat screens from the Batmobile. Was it on his hat or maybe in his eyeball? Like great stuff like that. The way that they drew this offspring of Killer Croc, so scary, and it was something that was in the shadows lurking for most of this series, but now we see it in full, and it's horrific. We get an ending here. Batman doesn't give a shit throughout this whole series, and he's so badass. I love how nonchalant he is about this life-changing event that's happening to Croc that caused the deaths of most of his rogues gallery. I need a sequel. I love this team up. Love Garth Ennis. His writing is so fresh and just flows so well. And Liam Sharp, I'm a new fan. Wasn't really aware of Liam Sharp. I know he's been in the industry for decades. You got yourself a new fan. Dug this series. Moving on to Superman 78. We're on issue 4 of 6. Venditti, Torres, and Belair. Digging this. I love how they write Lex Luthor in here, man. Basically, Brainiac has taken away Superman. He's in the trapped, shrunken city of Kandor, just kind of trying to fall in line with the politics. His father, Jor-El, is ready to just make him in charge of whatever political thing they got going on. Superman's kind of falling in line, but Lex Luthor's not ready to let Brainiac be the one to get rid of Superman. So he's basically causing him to be saved. It's fun. It's refreshing. They look like the movie. The art is clean, crisp, and I love this series. Moving on to Robin 8. It was a good week for comics, man. Williamson, Melenkov, Dunbar, and High Five. This was a great issue, too. Action-packed. It was so fast and furious. I wanted to say furious, but I mean, you have these great fight scenes that are going on here between Robin, between the other characters on the island here, winding up for an ending, I guess we would say, where they're going to have to overthrow the whole Mother of Souls and the Lazarus Island and all that stuff. Basically, everybody's down to their 2 free lives, and if they get killed again, that's it. But Robin ready to go up against Hawk again. That's who it was, right? I think it was Hawk. Yeah, it was a great fight. Good issue to a fun series. All right, then we have DC vs. Vampires. This is issue 2 of 12 with by Tiny and Rosenberg and Schmidt. I like this one. I think it was much stronger than issue 1. At the end of issue 1, this is like a slight spoiler, but Batman finds out about, I'll make it non-spoilery, kind of finds out about the vampires' plan and who may or may not be affected, and is kind of letting the Bat family know what's up. That's a great interaction. The vampire stuff going on within the Justice League, it's dark, man. It's kind of knocking on the doors of deceased type of stuff, man. So I dug it. I liked it. I'm glad I stuck with it. I didn't really like issue 1. It was kind of slow. Issue 2 picks up. Then the last one from DC, we have Task Force Z, issue 2 by Rosenberg, Barrows, Ferreira, and Lucas. This is just a fun kind of zombie story. We understand how these villains are being controlled and how they're I guess that's basically what we get here. How they're being controlled. I think it's Arkham Knight. We get a little bit more of her story and how she's able to have a little bit more control of her mind, even though she's a zombie as well. And the whole kind of Jason Todd thing. Basically, it's Jason Todd's Suicide Squad with zombies that are deceased Batman rogues. But it works. I like it. It's fun. It's weird to have a DC vampire and zombie book going on at the same time. And then lastly, we have Marvel Comics. Amazing Spider-Man 79's out. This one's by Ziegler, Dowling, and Arbitrov. So they definitely don't have a clear plan for Spider-Man. I mean, it's going back and forth between writers already. I guess they don't have like their permanent team. I dug the Ben Reilly as Spider-Man stuff. Just not really digging the Beyond Corporation stuff here, but this one had more Spider-Man than Beyond. So I think overall it was cool checking in on Peter. He's still in a coma. The interaction between Ben Reilly and Mary Jane is, refreshing, and it must be weird for her. She's essentially talking to Peter, but it's his clone. The clone thing is always a little bit hard to swallow, but I love the new costume, and yeah, it just sucks seeing Ben Reilly kind of controlled by this corporation, and that comes up in this issue. I'm sure it'll be fun when he just decides to say screw you guys and do his own thing. Then we have X-Men issue 5 by Dugan, Pena, Carlos, and Arsene Yeager. This was a cool issue surrounding Polaris, tying back to the Hellfire Gala when the vote was cast and how she feels about joining the X-Men team, and kind of going through a week. I don't know if it went through a whole week, but like these little things that this new X-Men team is going through, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Polaris kind of showing what she's capable of and how they're saving people. It was cool. It was a good issue. Nothing really major happened, but it was all right. Then we have Wolverine, issue 18. This is by Percy Diaz, Tartaglia, and Lima. I kind of like this one. I really have been super hard on the Wolverine run, and for good reason, I think. This one felt like a story you would read in a Wolverine ongoing. You have him still dealing with that whole Maverick thing. He's teamed up with this guy that basically looks like the Big Lebowski, but it's interesting. I kind of like it. Wolverine kind of doing his own solo thing, trying to save mutants, fighting against Maverick, who's just a merc who has no feelings and is just all about himself. Good, cool cover too. The big debut, we have Hulk by Donny Cates, Ryan Ottley, and Frank Martin. So I like this issue overall. I'm just a little concerned with the premise is, what if Hulk was trying to protect us from Banner? It just makes me feel like this is a what if scenario. And I did like it, but Banner as the villain, I don't know if I'm really digging it. You had this cool thing where Banner's able to like mind control a Hulk kind of avatar thing. And he was going up against Hulkbuster. Brutal fight here. It's Donny Cates writing, which I'm a big fan of. It feels fun and refreshing and new, and you don't feel too bogged down, or it doesn't feel too dense. I did like it, but it's just like, I don't know if I really like the story that he's trying to tell here. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm sure a lot of you are picking it up. Moving over to Death of Doctor Strange, issue 3 by Jed McKay, Lee Garbett, and Antonia Fabuela. It was okay. Silver Age Doctor Strange doing an autopsy on the deceased Doctor Strange, trying to figure out what's going on. It seems like these, Widow's Sisters or some kind of supernatural forces coming, and there was a problem because not only is Doctor Strange dead, it seems that somebody stole his soul, stealing his powers, meaning that the Sorcerer Supreme can't be passed on to anybody else, leaving Earth open and vulnerable. So that's kind of what's going on here. It's okay. We have another #1 debuting today, Black Panther issue 1 by John Ridley, Juan Cabal, and Federico Blee. I wasn't really too excited about this because I don't really like what John Ridley's doing over on Next Batman. This one starts off super slow and generic with the Avengers, and are you a part of the Avengers or not? Can we count on you? I thought the interaction between T'Challa and Steve Rogers was kind of awkward. But then you get into this story, this kind of like idea that T'Challa has planted 10 people from Wakanda, that he has made it look like they've died from accidents, but they've been chosen to be like these undercover spies on Earth, protecting the the safety of Wakanda, if you will. And somebody is now attacking those moles or spies or whatever, and it's kind of like who done it, who knows, how can they possibly know? So I think it kind of ended with some hope. I think I'm going to stick around to see what happens here. Next up, we have yet another debut, another #1. This time it's Hawkeye Kate Bishop. It's by Nij Camp, Balam Jr., and Pierre. Honestly, this one wasn't for me. It felt like it was geared toward a completely different demographic. I didn't like the art style. I didn't really like the dialogue. Wasn't interested in the story, so this one's not a recommend for me. Probably pick of the week contender. Next up, we have X-Force Kill Shot #1 by Liefeld, Bowers, Valenza, Blee, and Wirawan. So I really dug this, man. It felt like a 90s X-Force book. I really like how he has like Cable recruiting this team of Cables, Shatterstars, Deadpools, Venompools, and Dominoes from all different timelines, and you have all these different versions of these characters fighting strife. I mean, yes, the played out thing, like, can we ever get a different Cable story? But yeah, the Major X on the cover there as well. But I thought it was fun. It was a dope little one shot. left open-ended to where Liefeld can play in this kind of sandbox again, which he's so familiar with. But I had fun with it. I think 90s mutant fans will dig it. And then onto my pick of the week, guys, and it's back, baby. Thor, issue 19 by Donny Cates, Nick Klein, and Matt Wilson. I'm so happy that this new arc is back to that epic cosmic storytelling. I absolutely loved it. From the storytelling in the beginning about these huge gods that are fighting in the cosmos, leading to asteroids that are destroying and creating worlds, and kind of mentioning the Black Winter, Nold, the Phoenix, all these celestial gods, and the story they're telling about who stole Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. And at the end, there's a big hook here. I love the artwork. I love the kind of callbacks to the dwarves who created Mjolnir and where Odin has been for the last however many days, months, weeks, years. Who knows what the gods. And Thor's badass here, man. Totally badass. We basically find Odin in this kind of like Thor Ragnarok, Planet Hulk type of scenario. Great issue. Big, epic Donny Cates Thor storytelling, which I'm a huge fan of. And just like that, guys, that's it. Those are all the books that I read for this week. Let me know what books you're digging in the comments down below. We are doing a giveaway once we hit the next subscriber milestone of 135,000. We're like 600 subscribers away. And we're going to give away this sealed all-new Wolverine Omnibus from Marvel once we reach the milestone. We'll end up going live, picking a random video where I promoted this giveaway. It could be this video, and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. Make sure you guys come download using the link in the description and follow me on Whatnot. I'm going live today, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I got like 20-something Omnis, and I got a bunch of other variants in the single issues in case I run out of those and have more time because I'm only going for an hour. So yeah, come check me out on there, and then be back here this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the live auction with Dynamite and Ramseyverse Comics. I appreciate you watching, but don't go anywhere. Check out my top 10 comics of the week I did for last week's books with Rockin' Robbie Billups, and check out last week's new comic book day reviews if you missed those. Stay minty fresh. Peace.